Hey, what's up? This is Mike with Santa Sonia, and you're watching CMS TV.
Thank God there's still good music being made, man.
That's a straight up rock band there, man.
Yeah, it's good shit.
I like that.
Cool.
Yeah, that was good. Was this?
So just
Were
when
you
we
at
went to
Def
Def
Leppard
Leppard
last night?
concert last night. The real show was the hot chicks in the stands that barely wore enough clothing because it was so hot outside. I heard mixed reviews about that show. I heard Cheap Trick sucked. I heard Journey sucked, and then I heard Def Leppard was fantastic.
I've heard Def Leppard was fantastic. I really haven't heard much about the others. I heard that the only person I heard from was my old intern Jeremy from 92.3, and but he likes everything. As long as he could get it on a Groupon, he thinks it's the greatest show of all time. So he's that guy. Every show that guy sees is prefaced by, I got this on a 2-for-1 Groupon for $12 for a $340 ticket.
My wife
all right, we hear you. You're cheap. We got it.
My wife does the same thing. She'll go into like TJ Maxx or one of these stores and comes out with a bag every damn night. And I go, what? And she goes, well, it was on sale. Usually it's like $85. I only paid $20, so it was really on
that's better.
Every night. Okay, thank you.
That's better than the zero you spent, right?
Hey, I wake up in the morning, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, get ready for work or whatever, and I go, yeah, hey, honey, yeah, we got to stop at Bath & Body Works tonight. I was like, why? Well, I couldn't sleep last night, and they had a sale. I was like, oh, get the hell out of here. Every night they have a sale. In the middle of the night, somehow Bath & Body Works has a sale like 3 o'clock in the morning that my wife finds.
Right.
All right, let's welcome our next guest to the show.
All right.
Who wants to call me out, or I guess I want to call him out. Bloom Doggy himself.
Jon what's
Drake.
up, guys?
How are
What's
you?
What's going on? I'm
Why
good,
are you
man. How
wearing
are
your
you?
X-Wing helmet?
I'm not wearing an X-Wing helmet. Shut the hell up.
That's his real hair? Oh, shit.
It's growing out, and it's in that awkward stage, and so every time.
When did you start working at Elk and Elk?
It's that awkward stage called gay.
Oh my God! Here we go.
All right,
Oh, boy.
I wanted to have you on just for a few minutes, anyways, because we have to have you on for a longer period of time at some point and talk about the Browns and do a whole Browns preview show before the season starts, which is pretty soon. But I wanted to have you on because you kind of called me out on Facebook, and I think you're kind of a dick. You made mention to me because all I did was post a video that Bob France made with a song that he made about Kamala Harris.
Okay.
And so I think it's pretty funny. I mean, it's entertaining. If you're older, you'll know the song. And so I think it was done well. And so I shared it because I work for his show, and I think it was shareable. And so I shared it, and then you had to comment on it. Now, you had to comment on it for whatever reason, and you said that, come on, Seth, don't be one of those people.
Yeah.
But you said, don't be one of those people who's right or left all the way, blah, 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 blah. You can find good on both sides.
Yep.
And so I wanted to ask you, because you didn't answer like on the thing. I said, there's nothing on the left that I like. What exactly on the left would I like? And I want you to tell me what there is on the left that I would like. Now, Chris says you're politically retarded. So maybe you don't know what's on the left.
No. So, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, you know, I work in health insurance, and there has been a reduction in medication costs. So as a small little thing, okay, I would say that would be something that, you know, I would look at that's good. You know, I mean, when you guys were talking earlier, I mean, Chris is right. I don't pay attention. That dummy Habu in the chat, you know, he said I'm ignorant, but that fucker can't even spell the word mannequin. So, you know, I typed in there, I said, yeah, it's willful ignorance. Like, I don't like politics because people get so worked up over it. And most people that get that worked up aren't educated about it. So that's why I don't, you know, go on a political soapbox or anything. I look at issues that are important to me and say, okay, well, which guy is on my side on this? It's like, okay. I don't subscribe. Isn't it called libertarian or something if you're like down the middle or something?
Yeah. I take 9 medications a day.
Yeah.
And you know, to be honest with you, I've been taking them for a while, and you know, I really haven't noticed anything being all that cheap, considering I do have health insurance and stuff.
You're not elderly.
I'm not elderly, I guess, but my question to you is that you got to list some things that I should look at on the left, because I am politically educated, in my opinion. I do it for a living. I literally have to read articles on a day-to-day basis about the different subjects, and Hubby says, blow me. There you go. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to look at on the left, because I don't think anything on the left is a good policy. Abortion, I don't think is a good policy. I don't think.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Stance on immigration is a good policy. I don't think there's. I mean, you can go down the list, and I don't think they're good policy. The economics plan, I don't think is a good policy.
Okay.
And taxing the rich, I don't think is just a great policy. People that are rich, like people that own corporations, I'm sure you have a job that you work for somebody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they were taxed to the point that they were broke, you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm trying to find out what you think I should look at and like.
Well, see, the way that I look at it, and again, you know, as Chris mentioned, I'm pretty ignorant to all this stuff. So, you know, but I will say, I think that in life there are very few things that are black and white. Like a lot of people would say, well, I'm only on the left or I'm only on the right. Like, you know, like pedophilia, that's pretty much black and white. Because if you go, yeah, I support pedophilia, well, then you're banging kids. So that's a black and white issue. You know what I mean?
By the way, that is up for debate these days, but that's a whole thing. It is. Right. I saw a thing just yesterday that somebody doesn't want them to be called pedophiles anymore. It's child interested adults or something like that.
And I would guarantee you that is a left policy.
Yes, yeah. The softening of language, man, like the old George Carlin sketch, man. It's sad. Just call them pedophiles. In fact, no, call them kid fuckers, because
call
that's
them dead.
Are. Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
On the left, I don't agree with gender reassignment for kids that are like toddlers and kids that come home and tell their mommy and daddy that they want to change their sex, or schools where they don't tell the parents what's going on with children who want to change their sex. I can't think of anything on the left that I support. And so I think, in my opinion, it is black or white with me. It is absolutely black or white. To me, the saving of our country is at stake this coming November.
All right, let me throw this at Seth. I'll throw it to Seth, and John, you could jump in as well.
Okay.
Should gay marriage, just that marriage, not banging in the ass, should gay marriage be outlawed?
Oh, am I answering first?
Yeah.
When you're talking politically or morally, what are you?
I'm talking politically.
Politically, then I don't think that there should. I mean, I think that should be fine. Morally,
well, then that's a left policy that
I wouldn't
you
say
agree with.
Look, I'm not for regulating who you love. Now, I do believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. But then fine, if it's politically, then I would say yes, outlaw.
So you asked to name one. I just named one.
Right. I don't agree with it, though.
Well, you don't have to physically agree with it. Look, if gay guys or gay women want to suffer the way that straight people do, go ahead, get married. That's fine. Nice. But I mean, as far as it being a law, and it's weird because I know both of you guys. Like I could pull an issue that I know you both are pro right side on and I'm pro left on. I know you both would outlaw marijuana yesterday.
Absolutely.
I know that.
I don't know where I stand on that one.
All
that's right. That's kind of a weird one to me. I don't think I've made up my mind on that yet.
Why? So where do you draw the line?
That's one of the things that I take into consideration. I mean, I think in general, from my personal experience with, I did it one time. That's the only drug I've ever touched in my life. But, from my experience with, having a lot of friends who do that, it's less problematic in a lot of situations than alcohol. And if alcohol is good, then why shouldn't marijuana be? You know what I mean? It's like,
how do you say that it's causes less problems than alcohol? What stats do you have to prove that?
Again, personal experience from what I have witnessed. I have, a lot of friends that smoke and, even more friends that drink. I mean, shit, dude, being a musician on the side, all of us drink, and I've seen many more problems caused by alcohol than by marijuana. So, and that's how I look at all these issues, man. It's like, what is my personal experience? It's, I can only go by what I see personally. And so the marijuana thing, it's like, I mean, I would think I don't have a problem with it, but I would have to think about it a little more than just going, well, some of my friends are total screw-ups and they got DUIs and hit people, getting drunk, but never did anything with weed. So,
Talking about me?
No, ironically, no. Now, hitting things, yes, but that's just because you're a god-awful, terrible driver. So
I hit you once. That was on alcohol, not drugs.
All right, is that for real? Is he actually hit you?
Yeah. Yeah.
He clocked you like in the face?
No, he did with a car.
No, well, I did that too. I forgot about that. No, I was telling him the story about when me and you got in the fight here in my living room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I mean, Chris and I are best friends, but like, that doesn't preclude, like, if I mouth off and he don't like it, that he's not going to smack me around a little bit. So that's legit.
All right. Well, I mean, that's what mouth off. So what happens in November with a guy like you? I mean, if you're politically ignorant, that's what you say. I'm not calling you that. I'm saying that's what you describe yourself as.
No, yeah, I admit it.
So how do you make a decision then come November? What do you base your opinion on? Are you just not going to vote, or what do you do?
Again, I have to do my research, and watching the debates is one thing, and I watch that, and I see how much bullshit's being slung back and forth. Like, if they touch on something that is an issue that I give a shit about, then I try to look it up, and I try to say, okay, well, were they lying about it? What's the actual stance here? Like, where do I want to go?
So what issues matter to you? I guess is what because I can name 100 different issues that matter to me.
Sure.
As far as making our country right. But what issues matter to you that you would sit there and say, all right, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump because these issues matter more to me?
Obviously, this is going to sound pretty like stock, but as Chris has mentioned many times, and I mean you too, Seth, like the gas prices and grocery prices. I mean, that I have a long commute to work. It's about 50 minutes one way. The band I sing in is one way is 2 hours, and I'm doing that like 40 or 50 times a year. I have family out of town, so gas prices literally hit me where it hurts. I've got 4 people in my household, so groceries going up. Like, I was just at the grocery store today and I was buying some fresh fish, and it was like $15.99 a pound for something that a couple years ago was $9.99 a pound. You know what I mean? So things like that. There's another issue that is the abortion issue is something important to me, but it's not something that I discuss openly.
Kill them.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I kind of look at it, and it really is, if something pops up and I go, oh, you know what, I'm kind of passionate about that one side or the other, I'll look into it. So, and I'm not one of those people that subscribes to the whole, well, Donald Trump is a moron, his bad tweets and Orange Man bad and all that crap. I don't like that he, attacks people like a petulant little third grader. But that's neither here nor there. Like, to me, it's like, okay, what are you going to do for the country? Like, just stop insulting people and let's get to the fucking real issues. Both sides.
And that's where I fall, is that I get mad at people because they have such a hatred for Trump because they don't like him as a person, but they don't look at and see what he can do or has done for the country policy-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want illegal immigration running through this country like crazy. I don't want illegals who are here to be able to vote, which is what they're trying to do now. I don't want... Look, I've given up. There's no way that abortion will ever be nationally banned. It won't happen. I mean, no president will ever be able to do it. And so, and nor do I think that maybe it should. I don't like it. I hate it. I think it's awful. But I think that it's a state's issue, and I think that's what Donald Trump wants to do. He said he wants to do, because that's what we are. We're a Republican, so it should be a state's issue. You don't like
Free
it?
hangers at Walmart.
I mean, you don't like it? Get the hell out. Move. You can go wherever you want to go. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to all these different issues, the gas prices, the inflation with the groceries, again, like you, I went and bought spaghetti stuff and some pet food. I walked out there $62 light out of my pocket. For what? For a meal that used to cost me $14.
Yep.
And so everything is more expensive. And so I have a list of things, and I can't think of anything on the left that I'm sitting there going, that's a great idea. Look, Chris brought up the gay marriage thing. Again, I could care less whether it's legal or illegal. It doesn't matter to me. So it's not an issue that I support on the left. It's something that I could just give a shit less about. I mean, marijuana, that's a left issue. I could care less, I guess, if you smoke it. If you want to smoke it, have a good old time. But do I think that it should be legal everywhere? Probably not. I think it leads to other things that are eventually going to be legal, which I don't agree with. So, I mean, I can't find anything that I support to make me want to vote another way.
Well, and I'll phrase it this way. Like, I mean, I think Chris proved the point that I was trying to make was, even if it's just one thing where you went, yeah, okay, gay marriage is fine. Like, that's one thing. So you may be 99% one way, but you're not 100%. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make, is that, and as much as I love him, Aiken brought up my older brother earlier in the show, and he's incredibly intelligent, mental level IQ, and he researches this stuff. I don't know what got into him, man. What hair got up his ass in the last few years, but
you grew enough.
Hey, he's got longer hair than me. He's had long hair my entire life. But like, he digs into this stuff. Like, I mean, he lives, eats, sleeps, breathes this stuff, and he's so pro-Trump, as Aiken said. And I've told him, I said, see, you do all this research, but every single one of your conclusions magically comes out where the right is correct. Like, that just can't be. Like, with the amount of stuff you read and look into and all this other stuff, like, there's no way. So I just think, that there are some people, a lot of people, I would say, that tend to just go, well, I'm on the right, so everything's, that. Or, one of my cousins, like, the day that Joe Biden announced that, he was dropping out of the race, we were at a family function with him, and I'm thinking, I bet this guy would vote for, like, roadkill instead of Donald Trump. And sure as shit, like 5 minutes later, he's like, I'd vote for Joe Biden in a coma before I'd vote for Donald Trump. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That because that's a well-informed opinion. That's helpful. The whole anybody but this guy thing, like, that's just stupid. So I don't subscribe to the one side or the other only.
Well, we got to move because we had Tony Musachio, but we're gonna. I might be better friends with your brother. I don't know.
He's a cool dude, man, and you can. Lord knows you guys would get along perfectly, man. So
the conversation would never end.
Yeah, it would never end. I do want to have you on sometime soon, maybe next week or something. If you're not busy, I'd like to do a Browns preview show because I think the Hall of Fame game is next weekend. And so the NFL season.
I think it's Thursday this week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah. You're right. It is
this week, not next week.
Yeah, they're right. And so I want to get some football talk in maybe next week if you're available.
Yeah, next week or the week after. That's fine.
Yeah, we can talk some Browns and see how the season's going to shape out. And I look forward to that. So I appreciate you coming on today, though, my friend.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
By the record, John, I would never hit you like one Chris Aiken.
I'd hit him again.
But I was going to say I would be lying if I didn't say I deserved it.
See?
I admit it. You know, if you're going to poke the bear, you're going to get the claws. That's all I know.
Look. A couple bottles of vodka downed. We all lost our cool a little bit. Maybe we should have both been smoking weed instead of drinking very excessively.
Legalize it, man.
Thanks, John.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, later,
see you, man.
Now, from that, he's a good dude, man. Despite his haircut, I love that guy.
John's great. We get along. I mean, he's obviously one of my absolute closest people.
Yeah.
So.
There's plenty of places to experience the Seth Williams Show, but if you want all the content, you need to join us on Minds. Get all the live episodes of the show every Monday and Wednesday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Get the special bonus footage every Wednesday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Get bonus content from Seth and Chris as it's produced. It's only $4.99 per month, so don't wait. Sign up today. Visit us at www.minds.com/Seth Williams Show.